In today's video, I'll share with you 3 strategies on how I saved my first 100K. No investments, no financial coaching, and no allowances. Just pure basic salary savings. This video idea was suggested by my friend and channel viewer, Marianne. As with things with numbers, we're going to need a baseline. In today's video, we'll use 24,000 pesos. There are a few reasons why I chose that number. From my research, it seems that this figure is the base average of what a lot of Filipinos in their early 20s to mid 20s are making. While many of you guys who watch this channel are around my age and are making significantly more than that, 24K was how much I was making when I was a 23-year-old ad man in an ad agency. And I managed to save 100K in a year during that time. If it's possible to do with 24K, then it's possible to do with a higher amount. I'm going to assume as well that you have no investments or any other sort of passive income, just pure basic salary. No allowances as well, that's not allowed here. First, let's talk about how much you need to save. With a goal of 100K in 1 year or less, you need to be able to set aside 8.33K a month every month for 12 months. If you automatically move this amount to a bank account, then you're done. But how come so many young people and so many first jobbers do not have that amount in their bank accounts? There are so many people our age as well who do not have 6 figures in their savings. Because you're not aware of how much it takes to get to 100K over time. You're thinking in one lump sum, not the daily, weekly, and monthly amounts that you need to set aside to get to your goal of 100K. So the first step that you need to take if you're serious about having 6 figures in your bank account in 1 year or less is to acknowledge how much you need to have set aside every day, every week, and every month of the year. We're talking about 274 pesos a day, 1,918 pesos a week, and a little bit over 8,000 a month. Second, let's talk about specific strategies of what you can do in order to set aside this amount. Number 1, you must track and note everything that you're spending money on. When I was 22 years old and I first broke the 20K a month salary, I thought that I was ballin' and I could afford stuff like cafe coffee. Newsflash! I can't. So you must identify activities, products, stuff that you spend money on that are what I call cash sinks. The once in a while treats that actually hurt your long-term goal of having 100K in 1 year or less. As much as possible, you should never scrimp on things like food and health. But you also need to make hard choices on what is necessary versus what is nice to have. Coffee in the morning is necessary, but a venti cafe coffee, that's nice to have. A pair of shoes is necessary, but a designer pair every 2 to 3 months, that's a nice to have. From my experience, every cash sink item that's out there has either a free version or a near free version available to you. Is there free coffee in the office? If there is, guzzle that thing. Just by tracking and writing down everything that you spend money on, it will shock you enough, I guarantee it. It will shock you enough that you will definitely cut a lot out of it from your life. This strategy also helped me learn new skills, such as mixing my own cocktails, which can cost upwards of 500 pesos in a bar. I also learned how to brew my own coffee. Every time I take a swig out of my homemade cold brew, I think about 150 pesos that I save every day. If you like what you're hearing so far, hit that like button and make sure to watch until the end. Number 2 is to learn to put a price on your productive time. When I was making a fresh grad salary, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment that was an extra right away from work. I opted to move nearer to work, but this meant moving into a smaller studio apartment that was also a few thousand pesos more expensive. But what I saved on was the number of rides to work, as well as how much time I spent commuting. The added expense for rent, in my opinion, was worth it because I gained several hours as well per day on sleep, as well as to pursue other passion projects. It gave me more time to do a side hustle as a writer for an online magazine. At that time, the writing part wasn't getting me paid, but I was getting a ton of stuff from brands and from sponsors, which I could either use or I could sell. That means extra cash. This strategy is all about freeing as much productive time as possible so that you can spend that time either for yourself, for your own sanity and your own happiness, or to pursue other side hustles. The question of the day is, what would you do differently now so that you can save 100K in 1 year or less? Share your tips with me in the comments below. Number 3 is to learn the difference between self-help and spending. People in our generation are statistically making less money than previous generations, plus we're also a heck of a lot more stressed. The response to this has been to invest in ourselves or spend on self-help activities. This could be a fitness membership, a weekend spa, or Saturday brunches. Guess what? These all cost money, and they don't help you become a better person, to be honest. They're treats, not necessities. If you're clicking off at this point, sorry to see you go, but just keeping it real, man. Frankly, having a gym membership when you're making 24K a month is just super impractical. You can get fit through fitness apps or doing chores. Have you tried cleaning out your condo for a weekend? That's one of the most tiring workouts that you can do. It's also functional. And frankly, part 2, spending on your weekend spas and your brunches, well, they look awesome on Instagram, but they hold you back from saving your first 100K in 1 year or less. There's nothing wrong when you're living a simpler lifestyle, especially when you realize that you will never have to share a broke millennial meme on your Facebook feed ever again. I'm not stopping you from enjoying life, which is why the next point is set aside what I call play money. If you're doing your basics just right, such as tracking everything that you're spending on, setting aside your 274 pesos a day, and going for free or cheaper options, then this advice will help you live a little and have fun whenever you want to. If and when you get surprise money, I'm talking about bonuses, 13-month pay, someone giving you cash out of the blue, this is the time that you can set aside some of that money as your play money. So for example, if you've been saving up some money for a new pair of shoes and then some friend or a loved one gave you a pair of shoes, then you can use that money that you've been saving up for something else. But the trick is to not spend more than what you saved. The idea is that you never ever touch your basic savings, and you only splurge when you spend money that unexpectedly falls from heaven. Of course, you can also get to your goals faster by setting aside that unexpected cash into your 100K goal. But hey, we gotta live a little, and I'm not gonna hold you back from spending that play money of yours. What would you do differently now so that you can save 100K in 1 year or less? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video informative or helpful, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jason and I hope that you are doing better today with your savings.